Hi, I'm Jamie Catania of Shovel the Sidewalk. We're a marketing firm in Buffalo, New York, building brands and creating advertising for small businesses. And we utilize the power of authentic storytelling. That's why we came out with Sidewalk Talk. It's a way for business owners, experts, and thought leaders to share stories of inspiration, motivation, and education. And today, I have a special guest. We have Dominic Matteliano, Service Manager for Western New York Sales and Service. Dom, how's everything going?
I'm doing great, Jamie. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show. I know you're really busy right now. I want to get right into it, though. A lot of people that listen and watch the show, we want to share the story of how somebody got into what they're doing. And for you, you deal with mechanics. You're a trusted advisor for people that bring their vehicles to you. I'm one of your customers. What got you into mechanics, and what led you to Western New York Sales and Service?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what really got me into mechanics is, I didn't like where things were going college-wise. It didn't seem like the right track for me personally at the time. I tried a couple different jobs here and there, but I knew I always enjoyed working on vehicles. I always got a sense of satisfaction when you can fix something on the car, or just generally being into the cars. Everybody recognizes Fast and the Furious, and I was big into that at the time and wanted to soup up my own car and everything. So what better way to do that than to have that as your profession? So I mean, ultimately, that's what got me into working on cars. As far as joining up with Western New York Auto, I had a long term with my previous company, Mr. Tire. I was with them for almost 10 years, gained a lot of experience with that company, but just really wasn't a lot of room to move forward in the company unless you want to be like a general manager, managing multiple shops and everything. And then you kind of lose that personal touch between yourself and your customers, which I always enjoyed. It's a part of the job that I really, really liked, was getting to know my customers and being able to take care of them personally. Um, so that being said, one of my customers, like my biggest fleet account when I was with Mr. Tire, was Western New York Auto. At the time, they didn't have a location where they were able to make their own repairs. They were outsourcing. They looked me up, and then, like I said, became one of my number one fleet accounts. Is they were sending me cars every single day, and they loved the way I worked with them. I liked their business model. I saw the cars that they were bringing to me, the work that they put into them, how much they cared about their product, and I saw a lot of potential with them. And it just the opportunity came where they finally had located a shop that they wanted to settle down in so that they can make their own in-house repairs, and that they came to me personally, and asked if I wanted to be their guy to run their business. And seeing everything that they had done with me, it was a no-brainer. The owner Mark is a extremely generous guy, very smart businessman, and I saw the potential there. So it was a no-brainer. It was match made in heaven. So we moved into our location here on Delaware Ave, which was uh, conveniently right down the street from my old shop. So we're still in the same area, Kenmore here. I grew up in Kenmore, so I know the people, I know the area, and it was just, it fit like a glove.
That is amazing. And it's one of those things where, again, you never know who you're going to meet in life. This situation, you were taking care of a customer and they offered you an opportunity, and you jumped on it. It's one of those things that you couldn't plan for, but you're always prepared because you provide that amazing customer service. And, that's one of the things that I explain to people when I, refer them to see and stuff. You got to think of it as, you know, the mechanic is the doctor for your vehicle.
Absolutely.
You're not going to really be able to go into the engine and whatever's being worked on and go, okay, yeah, that was done right. You have to trust the person that you're working with.
Definitely.
And, for you, customer service is on a whole nother level. I'm hoping you can get into what customer service means to you and just some of your philosophies when you're working with somebody, whether it's a brand new customer or a customer you've had for years.
Yeah. Customer service is our number one goal. Obviously every business is in business to make money, but the number one goal is customer satisfaction. And we end up being a successful company because of that, because we value customer service above all. I mean, safety is number one concern. If you're always looking out for that customer's genuine safety in their vehicle, customer satisfaction is just going to come as a natural second there, because you're taking all the right measures to ensure that they have a safe vehicle, and they know you're being honest with them, and not telling them that they need something that they don't need just to make a sale. It's about what the customer genuinely needs, and again, satisfaction ends up coming as an easy second.
Absolutely. And, you don't want to just make, a one-time sale with somebody. You want them to
No,
be your customer for life.
for
So,
life, yeah.
and,
It's
and
more successful in the latter.
for sure. And, and I bring that up because I think it's missing in a lot of different industries. We're in a time right now where it's not easy to be working with the public. Obviously there's like precautions in place to make sure, whether you're wearing a mask, gloves, things like that. What are some of the things right now, because I think some people don't realize that it's an essential business right now. Obviously, like if something goes wrong with your car, although a lot of people aren't driving right now. um, what are you guys doing right now just to ensure people feel safe, and they're more apt to coming in instead of waiting later down the line until something really happens to their vehicle, and then they end up
Right.
paying even more money?
Yeah, no, being an essential business right now, we are taking every necessary precaution to keep everybody's health and safety in mind there. Uh, I'm lucky to have a very generous and forward-thinking boss who has taken the time, money, and effort to make sure that we have personal protective equipment here to keep the customers safe and healthy, but also ourselves safe and healthy, because we need to stay here to be open to service. You don't know if a doctor or EMT driver is going to need service on their vehicle. They need to be able to make it to work. So we're here to help, and we've got our gloves, we've got our N95 masks here. We are prepared and ready to take every precaution necessary to keep everybody, again, safe, healthy, and satisfied. We do offer masks, so like if a customer needed to come in, absolutely had to wait with the vehicle on, say, an emergency visit or something, we do have masks for purchase. So we are equipped. We've got a sanitation process that we do prior to getting into the vehicle, as well as exiting the vehicle. We have special disinfectants that we're using, wiping down the steering wheel, the gear shifter, your handle, your window switches, any surface that may be touched at all. We are sanitizing, wiping down prior to and after service of the vehicle. So we are very fortunate that we have the supplies here necessary to enable that. So we're very, very lucky right now.
Yeah, very good. I mean, safety obviously is the number one thing right now, just ensuring everybody's doing their part to you know, practice good hygiene. And that's one of those things too. You go to the grocery store, for example, you're touching different things, the carts, whatnot, food. Yeah, you need to wipe not only the steering wheel, but actually, the handle
Ev-
of when opening the car.
Every
So
surface that's touched.
that's
And
huge.
fortunately, I'm a bit of a neat freak myself, and so is everybody else who works here. So we naturally keep a very clean premise to begin with, but we are going overboard with it now. So better safe than sorry, you know.
Absolutely. No, 100%. Um, for somebody that's thinking about maybe getting into mechanics, whether it's the person that's in high school, they're about to graduate, or maybe they're in college right now and they realize it's not for them. They're more about, getting their hands dirty and fixing things. what would be your advice to somebody that's thinking about going that route? What would be the best way to learn about the trade and eventually become a mechanic?
Yeah. My best advice would be don't hesitate. Just get into it. It's essentially what I did. I did not go to school. I don't have a formal education in the industry. I personally learned through experience. When I first started with my first company in the automotive industry, I was fortunate enough to work with a gentleman who was kind enough to kind of show me the ropes. He let me borrow some of his tools until I was able to purchase my own collection of tools necessary to be a successful technician. Not everybody has that as an option. So, anybody who is, really interested in it or even just curious about it, I would say, you know, college isn't necessarily the end all be all of what you need to do, to further your education or life. I mean, trade school is a perfectly acceptable way of going about that. ECC actually has a great tech program that is compared to ones that you may see advertised online that cost a lot. It's relatively inexpensive, and they will teach you everything you need to know to get into a shop. They'll oftentimes have a program where they'll have you mentor in another shop and get that hands-on experience, because that's how I learned. I couldn't sit behind a computer or sit with my nose in a book all day long learning about it. I like to get my hands dirty and just kind of dig right into it. So guess my best advice would just it'd be don't be afraid to jump into it. You're never going to know if you're going to like it until you try, you know.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Dom, I appreciate you being on the show. We're about to wrap it up. For those that, want to reach out to you directly, whether it's to learn from you, maybe even, take their car in, you guys are open right now. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Whether it's phone number or website.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can contact the shop anytime. I mean, I one of my favorite things to do is give advice and education to people. There's an educated customer is your best customer, because they know what needs to be done, they know what they want then, and you're helping them. It's the best way you could help someone. So yeah, our lines are open anytime for any question on anything automotive related. So any way we can help, we certainly will. You can contact the shop at 716-551-1972. You can give me an email too. It's a long one. I'll probably hold it up here. Get
And
that
and
into
for
focus.
those listening, Dom,
Yeah.
just in case, it's fine. You could just spell it out, and I'll
Okay.
make sure it's in the description.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Dominic, Dominic Matteliano at the WNY group.com. Told you it was a
Perfect.
long one.
That's all right. That's all right. Dom, again, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate you sharing, your story, advice for those that are looking to get into the industry. Appreciate everything that you guys are doing over at WNY Auto and Sales, especially with making sure everything is clean, people feeling comfortable. Thanks again, Dom.
Thank you so much for having me, Jamie. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So
All
for
right.
those watching, listening, you can stream all of our episodes by visiting our website at shovelthesidewalk.com. If you're interested in being on the show and sharing your story, we're always open to having guests on the show sharing stories of inspiration, motivation, and education. You can fill out a simple form by just clicking the Sidewalk Talk podcast tab on our site. Don, thanks again. Appreciate you being on the show. Until next time, this has been Sidewalk Talk.